Chasing that money, living for the thrill, aiming for the top, gotta make the kill. Street smart, no room for the weak. Cross us once, you'll feel the heat. Taking what we want, we don't ask for permission. Running with the wolves, a dangerous coalition. Living on the edge, no time for hesitation. Hill Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Hill Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Bad guys do hill shit, no one can stop it. Walking in the shadows, always on the profit. Fast cars, big dreams, living on the edge. Haters talking trash, but we ain't even faced. Just rebels with the cars, breaking all the rules. Bosses in the game, always playing it cool. Living fast, we ain't slowing down. Always ready to turn heads around. Hill Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Chasing that money, living for the thrill, aiming for the top, gotta make the kill. Street smart, no room for the weak. Cross us once, you'll feel the heat. Taking what we want, we don't ask for permission. Running with the wolves, a dangerous coalition. Living on the edge, no time for hesitation. Hill Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Hill Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Bad guys do hill shit, no one can stop it. Walking in the shadows, always on the profit. Fast cars, big dreams, living on the edge. Haters talking trash, but we ain't even faced. Just rebels with the cars, breaking all the rules. Bosses in the game, always playing it cool. Living fast,
Viewer discretion time.
Viewer discretion is advised.
What up, Heel Faction? Welcome back to Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Because bad guys do heel shit. I'm Dark Cordz. From a distance, Draven Grimes.
Hello.
Joining us every Tuesday is Edgar from Snug Wrestling Podcast. I'm still feeling a little under the weather, so I didn't want Draven to come to the studio and potentially get sick, so we're doing it the old-fashioned way. We got the biggest stories in the past week in wrestling, and we'll get into it right after this.
Cool. Living fast, we ain't slowing down. Always ready to turn heads around. Heel shit podcast, where the bad boys reign. Never following the norm, always causing pain. Bad dirty sound. Bad guys do heel shit, no one can stop it. Walking in the shadows, always on the profit. Fast cars, big trains, living on the edge. Haters talking trash, but we ain't even faced. Just some rebels with the cars, breaking all the rules. Bosses in the game, always playing it cool.
Welcome back. How you guys doing?
Better than you, apparently.
Yeah?
You COVID ass.
Oh, you got the Rona?
No, not that I know of.
I'm calling it that. I'm calling it that. He, like, we made plans, and like last second, he's like, "Nope, you're not coming over tonight." Oh well, not loved anymore. Okay.
You are. Just don't want to get anybody sick. And then you take it home and everybody in your house gets sick and you're like, fuck Dark. And I'm like, haha, I told you, motherfucker.
And then surgery gets postponed, and I'm like, fuck you, Dark. And
You don't sound sick, Dark. Are you sure you're not just lying to Draven just so you don't hang out with them?
No, I've been coughing up a lung all day. I feel starting to feel a little better. So
yesterday was a lot worse. I know I was also feeling pretty sick because we had that fucking cold front coming through in our area, so we were both feeling that shit. Yeah. Edgar, how are you doing tonight, bud? Edgar, how are you doing tonight?
Well, I'm good, but you disappeared there for a second, or was it me?
It was you.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can hear you now.
I can hear you and I can see you.
All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. It's a new year, new me, y'all.
Oh, fuck that. No, fuck that. It's New Year, more focused me. That's how I'm taking this.
Yeah, no, I was being sarcastic. It's the same me.
Well, obviously, look at that fucking shirt you got on.
Yeah, gotta show some love since no one else can. Gotta support the Hogan.
Look, if he would have and we'll get into it later, but if he would have just flipped and went straight Hollywood for fucking 2 minutes instead of just keeping on with his shit, I probably would have been a little more happy with it.
I'm not surprised that he got the reaction that he got.
Not at all.
Nobody was.
Not at all. We'll get into that, but what do we got up first?
We got good old Baron Corbin, real name Tom Pestock. He's officially a free agent, y'all. It's been about a week since he has been out of the WWE, or out of his contract. His contract expired. The WWE did not renew his contract, and already he is in talks. He's a hot free agent right now, and he's had some talks with New Japan. Potentially, Baron Corbin could be heading overseas, but he was also backstage at AEW's World's End recently, which there hasn't been any reports that he's actually talking to AEW. But where would you guys like to see Baron Corbin head to next? AEW or perhaps New Japan?
Well, let's kind of toss out all the backstage appearances. The show was in Orlando. Everyone who works for WWE lives in Orlando, so it was a very easy thing for all of them to show up. So, and unlike the owners, like the wrestlers don't have any animosity because they're in different companies. I mean, they all love each other. They all work together. It's a very close-knit community when you're talking about professional wrestling. And I think he could do a lot of damage in AEW. I really do. But I just can't believe how bad WWE dropped the ball on him. Amazing.
agree with that. I agree with that. Me personally, where would I like to see him? I would actually like to see him take the path Matt Cardona did. Don't sign anywhere. Build up your equity on the independents. Make people see you to the point where you're undeniable. Let's face it, Matt Cardona, since he got released, has become, and I know it's one of his monikers, the indie god. Like he has taken the formula of what every independent wrestler, including us, should be doing day in and day out, and has mastered this to the point he shows up in Ring of Honor, he shows up on AEW television, shows up in TNA, he shows up in GCW. He could show up in New Japan at any time. He could show up overseas at any time. And he's not bound by any contract.
Well,
That's what I want to see Baron Corbin do. I want to see him go get the experience of the independents, because let's be real, he's been a WWE guy since day one, since he went into the performance center. He's only worked WWE style. It would do him so good to go to the independents. And I'm not saying go work fucking a 25-seat arena. I'm talking, go work GCW, go work MLW, go work these high-end independents that Matt Cardona's hitting weekly. Work a couple shows at TNA, get a feeling for different styles before you commit to another company. Enjoy your freedom. And for all we know, he's going to take the same formula Matt Cardona did, do it well, make more money doing that than he ever would have in WWE.
And obviously Cardona did it, but there's a reason why he's famous for doing it. It's because nobody else did it. All right, so it's not like if that was a normal route for a WWE wrestler who would just part ways with WWE. I mean, it's hard to make that case for really anybody. Now, and it depends on what his long-term goal is. Like if he's trying to shore up financial stability, take your ass to Tony. If you're okay taking the risk that you might not make enough money to live on, well, he'll make enough money to live on, but not be up to his lifestyle by going to the Indies. That's a risky ass to take, but I think we have to be cautious when we say, hey, you should go do the Indies. The reason why we know Matt Cardona is because he was an anomaly in doing that.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, because he did this, he learned every aspect of the business that he couldn't learn in WWE. And that's what I want Barry Corbin to do, is to learn every aspect the same way Matt did and hone his skills. I'm not saying be the indie god for the next 6 months to a year, but go learn a hold. Go learn a new style. You know what I'm saying? Go work New Japan for a few shows.
Sure.
Go work TNA for a couple shows. Work AEW on a handshake deal. Tony's good on those too. Don't bound yourself down somewhere and 4 or 5 months going, God damn it, I wish I did this instead. Explore all options first. That's really all I want him to do.
Yeah, no, I agree with exploring your options. I don't see that as a career path not only would many people want, but that they're able to do it. I think there's something special in people like Matt Cardona that can get up every morning and say, I've got to hunt that next dollar right now, instead of, getting a paycheck for what they do. So I don't know. I think there's a world of opportunities for him. I just,
oh yeah,
I just, not that he's fucking taking our advice or anything, but I would be hesitant to immediately think the Matt Cardona route is the way to go.
As a fan, I would love to see Baron Corbin pick up where he left off with that gimmick he was doing, the bum gimmick. Remember that bum thing that he was doing?
Oh, sad Corbin.
Sad
Ugh.
Corbin. Like that was getting over like so big with the crowd. They were getting behind him and they just didn't do anything with them. Do you guys I mean, you guys mentioned him joining the Indies. I mean, could he do that? Pick up where he left off in the Indies doing that and get over?
I think that gimmick would work on the Indies. I don't
But he would
think
have
it's
to-
his
he would
best
have to
foot
live-
forward. I think,
He would have to live that gimmick,
yeah.
which means he'd have to quit posting the way he does on social media.
And not only that, but I think obviously to me, his strongest character was the lone wolf. I think he needs to bring back that intensity and persona. And even though something like Sad Corbin could play up well on the Indies, I don't think it's something that's going to take him back to a major.
Mm-hmm. The constable, the sad, the happy, the constable. Those.
King.
Yeah, I thought I said King. If I didn't, I apologize. But all those were just do something with this and see what happens. Whereas you had the lone wolf gimmick, that was his bread and butter in NXT, and when he first got called up. Even when he did this repackage in the last couple of years, where he kind of just took little pieces from each of his prior gimmicks and just kind of really become himself in NXT before he got called back up, was getting over really well. And I feel that kind of Baron Corbin or Tom Peskin or whatever he wants to be called for now would work very well, regardless of whatever promotion he decides to go to, if he even decides that. I mean, for all we know, he may want to continue his martial arts career because, what was it? A week after they announced that they weren't going to re-sign him, he was hitting second and first place at his jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Yeah,
like
but,
he won more. He won more gold off WWE television.
Yeah, but there's no money in
that. He did in 5 years.
There's no money in that though.
Maybe he's going to go for MMA. Who knows?
He was a boxer too, wasn't he?
He was a
he was a
gold
gold
gloves
gloves
boxer, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the opportunity is there.
Yeah, I mean, he could do that, but he would have to really have the hunger for it because the money is nowhere near as good as he would be making in pro wrestling. And I don't know, that's just a hard fucking existence.
Yeah,
So what would you what would your opinion be, or where do you think where would you like to see Baron Corbin go to, Dark? I mean, Draven said do the indies like Matt Cardona. You think he should probably be a little hesitant about that, but
I think AEW is the smartest route. Not only for stability's sake, because he's going to get over market value there.
That's right. You did mention that.
He'll at least make $500,000 there, if not more. I can't imagine he was making that in WWE.
I could pull up his contract real quick. But if I had to choose a promotion for him to go, New Japan.
Well, that's the thing. The reason why AEW makes sense is he can work New Japan. He can work all these other indies other than TNA. He can, he still has the flexibility along with getting that steady paycheck. That's why I think that's the safer play for him.
His contract was for $310,000.
Yeah, so he'll make $500,000 there.
Of course, that's not including video games, merch, shit like that. So
yeah, but
maybe
guys at that level get very little of that.
Well, you gotta think he's also been there a lot longer than quite a bit of that roster. I guarantee you he's worked himself up to get a good little chunk of change on the merch side.
Yeah.
Even though his merch was shit after Lone Wolf doing it.
Yeah, and I think that's like the average or like the minimum for a WWE contract nowadays. I want to say I read somewhere it's like 300,000. So he was getting barely above minimum, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, at that point though, how well was he be using on TV compared to the guys that were making more money?
Not very well.
Exactly.
No, I think he could. I definitely think he could be a star.
Oh,
I,
without question.
yeah, I think the WWE dropped the
He gave me that.
ball like
He
crazy.
gave me that same feeling when I saw him in NXT the first time. That Punk gave me the first time I saw him in ECW.
Mm,
That it factor, like that.
Yeah.
That guy's going to go somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, I always liked Baron Corbin since I saw him. I got excited when they teamed him up with Bradshaw, put him as his manager, and then
Oh my God, those pains.
nothing, man.
I remember those pains. It was so horrible.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we still owe Baron Corbin a full episode that we'll never get to. But
Hold on.
this was a
Yeah,
good talk.
There's still spider webs on theirs. Not dusting those off yet.
All right. What do we got
No,
next?
I have a feeling
Huh.
once he does make that jump and he does decide where he's going to go, that's when we'll dust off that episode. It's only 2 years in the making.
Jesus.
No, legit. We've had that idea on the shelf since like May of 22.
Yeah.
We just never used it.
We'll get to it eventually, but this might be the longest conversation we have about Baron Corbin on the show. So.
Oh, not if he gets signed somewhere. You fucking know I'm gonna fucking go ham on that one.
Yep. All right. What we got next?
We got Ric Flair made news again.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, this guy, he claims he has one more left in him.
Is that every
The motherfucker almost the dude literally died the last time.
He had a heart attack.
Yes, he died.
He fucking died and revived right there during the fucking match. All right. This time, if he goes on he's gonna bump and turn into dust. I'm sorry. This is the dumbest decision of every dumb decision ever. If he gets back in that ring after literally fucking dying, his heart gave out in the fucking match, his retirement match. Fuck no.
Mhm.
Fuck. No.
I watched it live.
Yeah, I
was
saw
bad.
that shit too. I was just like, oh my God. It was like, it was so hard to watch. I felt so bad for not only Rick, but everyone that was involved in that thing.
And he
Exactly.
worked the absolute perfect people. I mean, Jay Lethal is a master of taking care of his opponent. There was no way that he was going to get hurt other than the fact that his old fucking heart blew up.
Oh my God. The good thing is, I don't think there's anyone dumb enough to promote.
Hey,
another
Raj,
Ric
what's
Flair
going on,
match.
man? Thanks for
Don't-
joining us.
Don't say that because we all know who his fucking son-in-law is, and he'll go fucking start re-bring a fucking another old promotion up for him to do it again.
Andrade?
The other
Really?
son-in-law, Conrad.
Oh, Conrad Thompson. Nope. He said he won't do it.
Who won't do
Yeah.
what?
He
Conrad's
claims-
also a whore for money. I've learned that from him the past couple years. If enough money's on the table, he'll fucking do it.
What?
Well, right now he's saying that he wouldn't do it, which is
Wait a minute.
I'm like,
I
man,
missed something. He wouldn't do what?
promote another Ric Flair
Oh.
match or another last match for Flair.
He should just say, I'm promoting my early inheritance.
Yeah, that lucky bastard got
Damn.
with a hot daughter.
I wish I had the quote for what Conrad Thompson said, but I'm pretty sure it had to do with the fact that Ric Flair fucking had a heart attack and died during his last match. I don't think he would, or maybe he would, according to Draven. He would still promote it. Who knows? Another one that was not dumb enough was Tony Khan. Ric Flair mentioned in this interview where Ric Flair stated he wanted to wrestle again, that he wanted to get in the ring in AEW, but Tony Khan did not let him because Tony Khan found out Ric Flair was on blood thinners. And that's one of the reasons why he was not allowed in the ring in AEW.
I
Yeah.
honestly forgot he was even in AEW at all.
No, he
I must have been too messed up.
the entire thing was for that energy drink. Ric Flair basically paid his own salary to be there. I mean, he was given so much money
and
to.
don't forget his failed chicken wing restaurants.
Well, I don't know if AEW had anything to do with that, but
They
I
did.
mean,
They did. They promoted it.
And it failed already?
Oh yeah. We had one here in Jacksonville, and they literally come from a Wingstop.
Damn,
were
they
fucking
got me.
dog
They got
water.
Ric Flair did really good with his marketing though. Like for like the first 2 weeks that I heard about it, that's all I would say every day. Is woo wings.
yeah, no, it's.
Yeah, I tried them. They were dog
I
water.
mean, a lot of people
I
don't
can
know
get better
that.
wings from Little Caesars.
A lot of people don't know that the Ric Flair thing was basically a money positive for AEW. He paid them so much money to put, as a sponsor with that energy drink. So, I mean, I'm glad he put some restraints on him, but fuck, I guess a free Ric Flair is better than no Ric Flair? I don't fucking know.
No, I believe the opposite. No Ric Flair is better than free Ric Flair. Of course, I have a personal beef. Just overlook me.
Well, I mean, anything can happen in wrestling, right? And Ric Flair and AEW ended on good terms. Tony Khan and Ric Flair love each other still, so I don't know. Maybe Tony Khan might have something up his sleeve when it comes to that.
I
What do you think,
doubt it.
Dark?
No,
Nope.
there's
If
no
I
way.
was him, I wouldn't even let Ric Flair in the building. Anywhere where he could stumble and fall on my property. I would not let that motherfucker. He'll fucking trip and his heart will blow out his chest. It'll be rough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Just let everybody know that I am also authorized to do funerals as well as weddings. So if anybody needs me to do Ric Flair's funeral, I'm trying to make that money.
I hear you.
All right, man. What you got next?
All right, since we're talking about AEW, let's go on over to Ring of Honor. JoJo Offerman, um, Bray Wyatt's wife, or the widow
Widow.
of the widow of Bray Wyatt, made made an in-ring appearance for Ring of Honor recently and took over some ring announcing duties for a dark match. So she wasn't actually a part of like the taping. She didn't show up for like the TV show, but she was there at Ring of Honor. People recognized her, and they made a big deal about it on the internet. What do you guys what you guys think about this? Does she think she's gonna make a comeback, or is this just just for her to have a little fun?
Here's my question on that. For all we know, it's never going to get answered. Was he just in attendance for their kids? For them to watch a wrestling show because they're fans of wrestling, or did Tony call her? Because if we remember correctly, was it like a week or two ago? She was at SmackDown with her kids, and they had the moment after the show with Bray's kids and Brody's kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to chalk it up to, she was there. Tony saw she was in the crowd. And they're like, hey, do you want to, pick up the stick for a little bit and have some fun?
I mean, I saw the pictures. She was like really done up, like wearing like just looked really professional, dress, high heels. It looked like she was there to work. The event was also in Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know if that means anything.
Not really.
I
She lives down in Brooksville,
so yeah, I don't know. There hasn't been any more reports about her having any like making a comeback for AEW yet.
Look, I wouldn't have a problem with it in the world because everyone except Justin Roberts, who announces for AEW, is ass. All right,
Preach.
they are 2 sacks of ass. It's
Disrespectfully.
I don't know. Dasha, she has experience and she's presentable, but she's not on the level that, you know, even JoJo was. So I would be fine with her coming in and replacing anyone currently announcing, except for Dynamite, which is going to stay Justin Roberts.
Unfortunately.
It could have been a tryout too, maybe, just to see.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also take into account that technically her and her boys are financially being taken care of by WWE, because technically Bray's under a Legends contract, which goes to the next of kin, which is technically the kids.
Right.
So we don't know.
But I don't see.
Sorry, you would probably know because of your experience. But would that be any conflict of interest? Even
That's
though
what
it's
I
just a Legends deal.
That was what I was about to say. I don't see how, and I don't see, because she's essentially unemployed. I don't think that they would be like, fuck you, you can't work for them, or we're going to take away this Legends deal. I think the fact that they still want to sell Bray Wyatt merch and still talk about Bray Wyatt, the Legends deal has to stay, and nobody can reap the benefits except his widow and kids. So it's
well, also remember, legally they were never married. Remember, they were engaged to be married. That's why
that's true.
The profits of the Legends deal technically goes to the children.
Yeah.
But since she's the overseer of it, that's what I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh wow.
If that's the case, then she shouldn't have any restrictions at all.
Yeah, I mean they're using the whole Bray Wyatt idea faction on their WWE TV still, so
yeah,
I
they
mean,
just put him in the. They just made him a big deal in the video game. The money's gonna have to go somewhere. They can't just use this shit for free. So
yeah, I just know there's gonna be that one fucking idiot that's gonna start talking shit. Oh, she's a traitor. The WWE was taking care of her and she went to the competition. What a bitch.
Every fucking company has one. There's ones for WWE against AEW and vice versa. It's fucking pro wrestling. People's making a fucking living. Let these people have fun. For the love of God. You're just pissed off that you still got to go fucking flip burgers and dunk fries in fucking grease all day while they're out there living their.
Yeah, man. And plus, it's probably good for her too, you know, like getting out there and working instead of being at home fucking depressed all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she other than like the anniversaries and stuff, she's pretty quiet on her mental status. So you know, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I love to see people make it in this business. And you know, it's a good way for her to carry on the legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me throw it to the first commercial break, and we'll get back, because the next story is nice and juicy. At least her hindquarters are. Be right back, folks.
Whoa!
Let me introduce you to our new sponsor, Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. Check this out. They sent us this huge box of samples with all these amazing flavors, from traditional flavors like the OG and ranch, to unique flavors like cinnamon churro and my favorite, backyard barbecue.
Absolutely, man. Let's not forget the garlic parmesan, cracked black pepper, and my personal favorite, the maple brown sugar. It is grade A, phenomenal, my guy.
So me, Draven, and Miner all sat down, went through all these flavors. Of course, we each had our favorite, but one thing we agreed on, this is an amazing brand. If you're a sunflower seed eater, definitely need to check this out. If you're not a sunflower seed eater, you still need to check these out because they got a flavor that you like, without question. Miner's favorite was dill pickle. I like the barbecue. Use the link in the description and enjoy.
Bad guys do hill shit, no one can stop it. Walking in the shadows, always on the profit. Fast cars, big trains, living on the edge. Haters talking trash, but we ain't even faced. Just the rebels with the cars, breaking all the rules. Boss bosses in the game, always playing it cool.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we are back now. Serve up that Samantha Irvin story.
Yeah, so Samantha Irvin.
God,
This story with Samantha Irvin actually ties to the one with JoJo Offerman that we spoke about.
they're doing a
because-
joint OnlyFans.
No, we're not going to talk about OnlyFans again.
Fuck.
We already did that last week with.
Yeah, but you got JoJo and Samantha, and it's a joint account. I'm take my money. Here, take my
Yeah.
debit card. Take my debit card.
So there's a lot of similarities there, right, guys, with JoJo and Samantha. So
They're very voluptuous. Yes.
they're both. I was going to say they're both ring announcers, but okay.
Oh yeah, that too.
Most importantly, they're both ring announcers. So let's move on with the story. Come on.
So when people first saw JoJo at Ring of Honor, some people thought it was Samantha Irvine, who was a former ring announcer for Monday Night Raw, Ricochet's girlfriend. That's Samantha, right? So Samantha did what she knows how to do best, like her husband, go on the social medias, start posting stuff about this. She said, "I'm gonna kill it" on social media, which then a fan responded to Samantha and said, "Please become a manager." Samantha then responded to the fan and said, "I will." So now we've heard reports before that Samantha, ring announcing wasn't her thing. Was she actually, the thing that she wanted to do was manage? So it looks like she's still pursuing that based on her response recently on social media. Samantha as a manager in professional wrestling. Do we really need that? Need to see that? What do you got there?
I think Samantha Irvin is amazingly talented. I find it funny that someone who is the best in the world at something hates what they're doing. Like, she is by far the best ring announcer in the world, maybe the best one ever. And to know that she wasn't into it is like crazy. But yeah, I think she could do really well
As a manager?
Yeah,
I think she could. If the storyline's right and it's produced well enough, she could probably be the most hated woman on fucking television. Like, to me, she gives me the same Stephanie vibes that Stephanie had back in like 2000, before like the actual heel turn with Triple H and stuff. But once she did that heel turn, she went from like this sweet innocent girl to like the most vile, demented, nasty, perverted woman ever. And I think Samantha could fucking pull that off.
yeah.
I can see it happening, dude. I mean, it's kind of already happening on social media. Like, she's kind of going off on people left and right now.
So
A lot of people are starting to hate her.
do you think? Well, I've always said that Ricochet needs a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
So I mean, I
Absolutely.
would like it just for that.
Oh man, that would make people hate Ricochet even more.
Yep.
Dude, the thing with Ricochet right now is I don't care about Ricochet.
And that's the problem, because we should all care about Ricochet. Ricochet
Well,
should be
as a person, I do.
no, yeah, obviously, jackass. It's not what I'm talking about.
Dude,
Ricochet.
he calls me fucking names when we're in different houses. Okay, I got your ass.
Ricochet should be a point of discussion every fucking week. Like, and the fact that we don't really care about him right now just shows that something's missing, and it's the mic skills. Unfortunately, you know, you got to talk in this business, and he's never really had to cut like a crazy promo in his WWE career. But he's out there now trying to go one-on-one with Swerve Strickland on the mic. That shit ain't gonna fly.
Dude, they proved it in Lucha Underground that he needed a mouthpiece when they put him with Conan the very first season. And it worked as a heel.
Yep.
This nerdy American Psycho ripoff that he's trying to fucking pull off. I'm not feeling it. I don't believe it. And that's my problem right now. With Ricochet, yes, he's a great fucking talent, but he got guys like Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay that he's got to fucking compete with. Whereas WWE, he was different because he worked that style. And AEW, you got to find something else to make you stick out from this. And your shitty ass promo skills are not it. And I watched his interview with Chris Van Vliet, and even then, he was very nervous. He was very timid. He didn't want to talk. He didn't want to, speak up. He didn't want to be part of the conversation. He needs somebody to do that for him. So yeah, definitely Samantha could be that person, and she could make him probably the most hated heel next to Moxley right now.
Yeah, because I think people are upset that it's not been better with him. And I think that
you can make that argument with a lot of guys that's come over from WWE too, where they come in with a mass debut, and then within 6 weeks they feel like a flash in the pan.
Yeah, some of them do.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back and watch AEW like 2019, 2020, and 2021, it almost feels like it's a different company than it is now. Just because of how they treated the debuts. I mean, go back and watch the debut of Aleister Black. Goddamn. I was listening to his music earlier. Malachi Black, when he debuted against Cody, that was a big fucking deal. And he was a big fucking deal like 6 months afterwards, still in big stories.
Yep.
Then you got guys like Keith Lee, who came in with a lot of fucking hype to him. He fucking was doing real good for about 3-4 weeks. And next thing you know, he's another guy on the roster.
Well, to be fair, he's had bad health scares. Like he was running pretty regularly before he started really having like chest problems, and I don't know if you've seen a picture of him.
I get that. I got that. I understand that. I'm talking about like when he first debuted, he was doing good, but within like 6-7 weeks, he was just another guy on the roster working, mid card. Like he lost that flair, that hype.
I think, unfortunately, with him, it's the same thing as Ricochet. Like, the consumer, especially the AEW consumer, isn't buying the whole stupiferous saphorensis or whatever the fuck he was talking about in his promos. Like, those crazy...
That's the one thing I liked about Keith Lee, that he did a promo differently, and it let him stick out.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, for better or for worse, if Samantha, well, now that Ricochet is going into this heel phase, if you add Samantha to the mix, people are going to tune in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you need.
Absolutely. Now, if she is going to be able to turn things around for Ricochet, I don't know. But
she can.
It's going to be.
She'll be able to. If it goes one of those kind of dommy mommy kind of things where you do what the fuck I tell you to when I fucking tell you to do it, and you don't fucking say a word, and Ricochet just jumps like a fucking dog, then yeah, it's gonna fucking work. It's gonna get him over.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's so crazy.
Fetch Ricochet.
Damn, and that would be.
I'm just calling it like I see it. And I know how some of those fucking super WWE watchers are like, oh, you're just ripping off Rhea and Dami. No, motherfucker. There's a lot more to that.
What the fuck was her name? She was with the Basham brothers, wasn't she?
Oh god, I know who you're talking about. I see her face.
Shaniqua.
Yes. Something similar to that. Just not to the extent of the whips, chains, and ball gags.
Yeah. All right, is that all the stories before Raw?
That's up. That's it. That's everything.
All right, well, let's throw it to our last break, and we will, talk about Raw.
Vodka, Ball, Castell. Indulge in the Red Revolution.
Video games right now?
All right.
No. I have it on the background, so I'm watching whatever he's putting on.
I thought you were like,
No, I'm not doing that at all.
All right, so last
I
night
will
was
be
a,
when I
a
go.
pretty important show for WWE. Tell us about it.
yeah, Netflix, the first Monday Night Raw of the year, the first Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and the show started off with a big announcement from good old Triple H, welcoming everyone to the Netflix era. And then we saw none other than The Rock himself to open up the show.
Well, let's just talk about the opening real quick. I thought that vignette that Triple H did was spectacular.
Agreed.
I think the script was amazing. I think he sounded sincere with it. So I think that as the opening set a high expectation for the night because it was beautifully done. The whole reveal with the curtain drop, it started off spectacularly. I'll say that.
Yeah, the setup too, dude. The screen that they had, the Titantron or whatever the thing's called in the ceiling. It was like a whole 360 setup thing. It was amazing.
Yep.
The production was fucking amazing.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to my complaints.
All right.
So The Rock comes out first, right?
The Rock came out first, and of course everyone was happy to see him, but it was kind of confusing.
It really was.
Yes, it was.
He came out. He didn't really say much other than welcome. Finally, The Rock is back, and apparently he's a babyface now.
Right.
He's also a high chief. They made that very fucking clear. 7 fucking times. I counted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no, the whole thing was fucking weird. Like the whole showing love to Cody thing, you know, as if the whole final boss storyline has never existed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, saying, you know, he wanted to shout out Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns for carrying the company. Like, there was no kayfabe. There was no story in it whatsoever. So I don't know. Are they just like pitching that story? I don't know what's going on.
I'm not sure either. Just like everybody else, I was confused. I was expecting Heel Rock to come out, cut a fucking promo. Of course, you know, congratulating Netflix and stuff like that. But this didn't feel like The Rock. This was just lame.
Yeah.
This was just the board member coming out and doing board membership with his fake ass fucking belt.
Yeah, it was a completely unnecessary segment. You know, he's definitely become the Markinator. Like, he loves himself some fucking Rock. And if there's a chance for him to get some eyeballs, he's gonna fucking jump on it. Like, there was no point. He didn't say shit. He didn't say anything.
Nothing worth a shit. And then just, you know, for him to call out Cody like that, he's just randomly in the fucking crowd, which really irked me in the following segment. It just, I don't know. Last night kind of seemed like scrambled eggs to me.
Well, this is a news show, so let's go through and make sure we hit what happened. We can editorialize later, but this is a news show, so
go ahead.
Yeah, so my first reaction to that was this was the man that was hitting Cody Rhodes with the belt, and then The Rock says, "Tell Mama Rhodes I said hello," which was like a little wink and a nod to and so that happened. Up next, the opening match was Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns, tribal combat rules. The winner gets to keep the Ula Fala. And it was a crazy opening match. Roman Reigns won after a whole bunch of interferences and craziness. How are you guys feeling this match being the one to start the show?
Wasn't as
Number,
definitely
number one,
wasn't.
I called that.
I'm sorry.
Number one, I called that. I either said if it wasn't going to be fucking Seth opening, it was going to be them, because you got to start the show hot.
Yeah, no, that was fine, but the match itself was good, but it wasn't nearly as well produced as the last Tribal Combat match. Like it.
I also put that to Solo's lack of experience compared to Jay. I mean, there was a lot of spots where you could just blatantly see Solo, trying to figure out what the fucking spot is after being told what the fucking spot is. Like he was lost quite a bit in that match.
Yeah, I mean the interference. I don't know.
You knew it was coming.
Of course, I knew it was coming. It's getting played out to the point where it's like now when Tama Tonga like yanks the ref out, I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ again. Like it's gotten ridiculous. So I'm glad Reigns won. I'm glad they seem to be moving to Raw and hopefully put this fucking tribe versus tribe shit to sleep.
So two things from that. First, the Cody Rhodes thing. He was at ringside for the first segment, correct? We all saw that. What was the fucking point of him going all the way backstage to fucking Gorilla just to do a fucking 30-second run in when he could just jump the fucking barricade and made it feel more real?
Yeah, I was expecting him to jump the barricade as well. I think they just wanted to hit the music.
Hit the fucking music, but still come from the barricade. Everybody knew where the fuck you were.
Yeah.
It'd be like fucking John Cena at WrestleMania when he was facing the Undertaker. We all saw that.
Yeah.
At least like, jump, run back there, and then go, whoa, and then fucking run down. Fucking do like Jeff Hardy does. Just dance all the way fucking down. Number two, this is going back to long-term storytelling, what WWE's really good at. Remember when Roman first came back at SummerSlam? The SmackDown afterwards, Solo had a backstage segment with all his boys and had the Ulafala in his hand and said, as long as I have this, I'm the tribal chief. But if Roman ever takes this from me, you will acknowledge him and I will acknowledge him. Now, do we see this play a part? Do we see this come back? Do we see the Timu bloodline acknowledge Roman Reigns as the tribal chief? Or are we going to see essentially Jacob Fatu go rogue? Because he's lost. He doesn't have I love you Solo anymore.
I think something is going to happen January 27th, like Roman Reigns made that announcement during Monday Night Raw, which is 2 weeks from yesterday, Monday Night Raw. I see them all falling in line.
For the exact day. January 27th is a Monday Night Raw. It's also the Monday Night Raw that Goldberg has been announced because it's going to be in Atlanta. But I'm pretty sure that's also when they're debuting the new 2K trailer, more or less.
Yeah, because when you said that, it showed the 2K emblem. So I don't know if that's just a release date.
At least for the trailer, because the WWE 2K socials have also like put the new 2K25 logo up. They got Roman Reigns as the cover of their pages, so more than likely he's going to be the cover star of this year. So maybe it's going to be, the Digital Deluxe Tribal Chief Edition or some shit. Or if you get a physical copy, you get a cheap ass Ulafala. Look, from like 2016 to 2019, WWE cooked with their physical collector's copies.
Yeah.
I know I had the NXT edition of 2K17 that had the Shinsuke autograph and the statue and all that shit. Can't remember what fucking 18 was the Ric Flair Hall of Fame ring. I lost that somewhere. And then 19 had a custom AJ Styles gloves that he has.
Hmm.
So I mean, for a little while they were cooking.
Yeah.
So it could be something as simple as that, or it could be the next time Roman's on television, because he's not going to be that star that's on TV every week.
Yeah.
He's the special attraction of this generation. So when he shows up, it counts. Oh
Yeah,
God, please don't tell me they're going to have Roman and Goldberg fucking wrestle. I just thought about that.
I hope not.
No,
No,
hell
no, no.
No,
Roman and Hogan.
No.
I would pay money to see that. No, I would pay money to see that just to fucking have Roman fucking spam a Superman punch over.
You know what I would
fucking
love to
Goldberg.
see? Goldberg's in the ring cutting a promo and Jacob Fatu comes out.
That's
That'd be
one-sided
cool.
as fuck.
Yeah, that would be cool.
All right. Moving on from that match.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on over to the Invisible Man himself, John Cena. He came back last night on Monday Night Raw, and he addressed the elephant in the room. He addressed one of the topics that we talked about last week, the 17-time world champion,
Mm-hmm.
John Cena, took us on this roller coaster during his promo. He said it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen unless I win the Elimination Chamber or the Money in the Bank or the Royal Rumble. And he went on to say he's going to go into the Rumble, win it. He's going after number 17, y'all.
But
It's official.
here's one thing about the appearance itself. I was really disappointed there was no physicality. Something should have kicked off his new determination with, just a mauling of some fuck that came out. They keep saying that there may be John and Cody at the Rumble at WrestleMania, which I think is stupid because he's not going to beat Cody. I can't see him beating Cody for that belt. The only way that he gets the 17th is to get the world title. But then again, what happens to the world title between now and then? Because do you see Cena beating Gunther for the title? So, I think the perfect scenario would have CM Punk be the world champion, and he defends it against Cena at WrestleMania, because I don't see
SummerSlam.
You see SummerSlam?
I see SummerSlam because it's like we talked about before. With when I was doing the fantasy book and shit, I still see Seth versus Punk at WrestleMania night 1. I see it being for the world title. I see Punk going over in that. Have him hold the title until SummerSlam and have him drop it at fucking John at SummerSlam.
Yeah, so what, you think he faces Cody and loses at WrestleMania then?
I don't think he faces Cody at all. I'm still very, very hopeful we still get we get Randy and John, because that's my dream match for WrestleMania. I mean, we had the triple threat back in 2007, but never one-on-one at the biggest stage, and I think that is fucking warranted for this last year. Not really sure how that's gonna happen, but I know with Cody still feuding with Kevin right now, for all we know, that's gonna fucking carry over into WrestleMania season. What if fucking Kevin wins the title at the Rumble? What if they make Cody chase it again? I mean, a lot of what ifs in the scenario, but for me, for my money, I see Punk and Seth at Mania, and I see Punk and Cena at SummerSlam for the title, the world title. Not only that, it gives relevance to the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth did an amazing job. I think we can all agree with that. As the first world champion of with that design, fantastic job carrying that belt. But The rest of them, Drew had it for like 5 minutes. Damien's cash in. I think we just all overhyped ourselves on that one. He didn't really have any stellar matches except the ones with Gunther, which is when he lost the title. Gunther with the title right now. He's not really had that breakout performance because there's always been some sort of interference or a MacGuffin involved that kind of taints his victories.
Taint.
I said taint. You can say it.
Sorry.
It's tainted. So yeah, I feel right now, as great as Walter is as champion, he's not given the legitimacy that it deserves. And we've said it all before. The man makes the title doesn't make the man. Right now they need to put it on the man, not Becky, but a superstar that can carry that title, whether it's heel or babyface, that can carry it, make it more relevant, and make the chase for the next competitor worth a shit.
Right.
Because let's be real, we all saw the main event. We'll get to it in a minute, but we all kind of saw the seeds planted for a heel turn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So within the next 2-3 weeks, I'm calling it now. There's going to be a straight fucking heel turn with Seth. So it just makes the perfect sense.
I hope so.
Me too. I hope Triple H listens to this show and fucking hires me. Pipe dream, but I can hope. So yeah, Cena comes out, announces himself a Royal Rumble. I like it. And I'm with Dark. I was kind of hoping there was some physicality. I was kind of hoping someone like Carlito would come out, talk some shit, try to spit an apple, get an attitude adjustment, and fans leave happy with that.
Right.
So,
What do you think?
what's next?
What'd you think about the segment, Edgar?
I liked it. John Cena. I'm excited to see John Cena in the Rumble, but now that I hear you guys talk more about it, I think Cody Rhodes versus Cena is starting to make more sense to me. It's like, what bigger match is there right now for WrestleMania for Cody? I can't think of anyone else right now off the top of my head other than John Cena. And I think John Cena, if it's not Cena beating Cody, who else?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see the possibilities are endless, and that's one of the things I like about this. Dare I say, it's unpredictable.
One thing I'm interested in seeing is what his physique looks like, because he came out and he's the incredibly shrinking man. Like, dude is somebody grabbed like the right corner of his GIF and shrunk it over a little bit. He's tiny now. Like, and I know he's not in real life, but compared to what he was before, I just, like when Kenny Omega came back after his layoff, even this one, I was like, what is he gonna look like? Because their physiques, well, Kenny has a great physique, but John Cena had, to me, the greatest physique in wrestling history. And it's like he's been put in the dryer. It's
Dark, we're gonna have a conversation after we get off the air about you and men's physique.
Dude, you know how body guys. Fuck off.
And you got problems with meat wallets and prison purses earlier. Now I'm feeling a little uncomfortable.
Right.
But yeah, I can see where you're coming. But just from how his arms looked, from what we could see, I still feel he's still going to be, jacked. Yes, he's probably going to be smaller now in stature.
Yeah.
But that's just,
I mean,
age.
he's older.
Yeah. I mean, and as we get with another brother later on in the show, I mean, age doesn't wait for no man. And Cena's just making the best of how he looks now.
Sure, I'm sure he looks
Uh,
phenomenal, especially for his age. But just odd seeing
the
him
one
come through
thing
the tunnel and him being so small.
the one thing I wanted to see and we didn't get to see because we talked about it last week. I need like the Marine haircut John Cena, not this fluffy bullshit that has the massive balding spot in the back.
Yeah.
What if he
Like,
just goes fully bald?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, probably.
Like I've seen him completely bald when he was working OVW and the independents before that. So I've seen him like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what's under that.
And
that
didn't
hat.
he say in the I didn't watch the post show presser, but didn't he say something about you would see parts of the prototype and Doctor of Thugonomics this year?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't see that either.
I haven't got to watch the post show yet. I was actually going to do that tonight. So I'll get back with you on that one.
All right. What happened next?
Moving on. Dom's girls were fighting over him. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley were battling it out to see who gets to keep that dirty dog Dominic. Now, for the women's championship, Rhea Ripley got her title back, and Liv Morgan's shenanigans failed, didn't work. Rhea Ripley got the title back, y'all. Pretty
Probably
good match, I think.
Probably the most entertaining match on the card. There's a lot of fun shit in this match. I mean, from Rhea's power bomb onto the fucking announce table. That was a whip. Like that felt personal. That that power bomb felt personal.
She threw that bitch down like I can smell your nappy pussy.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you're gonna give Dark a freaking heart attack over there.
All the way down to the one thing. I'm glad that Rhea won. She's definitely the leader of not only the women's division, but she's, after Taker passed the torch, she might be the face of WWE right now.
He's legitimately the face of the women's division, bar none.
Without question. I think that one thing that I'm concerned about is Liv falling out of the main event spot. I definitely think she's proven herself and she needs to remain, the number 2 female on Raw without question. Even if she doesn't get another shot at the title, because I think probably Raquel Rodriguez will be next in line after this. But
that could kind of set up for WrestleMania too.
Yeah, so
with Raquel and Liv.
I mean, I'm a huge Liv Morgan fan now. Ever since she changed her wrestling style, she's improved so much. I just hope she doesn't fall by the wayside. I know can be only a couple of main eventers in the women's division because there just aren't that many that get TV time. But she needs to stay up there.
As far as Liv goes, I have a feeling that we're going to see her just kind of get pushed away from the Judgment Day. Not necessarily on screen, but more off screen, to where she's just working more singles, more or less. And we see her go over to SmackDown and go for that women's title. That would keep her still relevant because, let's face it, they need to do something with that fucking women's title over on SmackDown to make it relevant. And I think Liv right now could be the person to do that because they've made it very clear that the Liv thing is over for now. They're not coming back to that anytime soon. How do you still keep her relevant? Do you put the women's IC title on her? No, because she's had nothing to do with that at all. It depends on how you see it. For me, if you put it on her being the first champion, which that's not going to happen because they got the finals next week on Raw, you give that title legitimacy. You know, a former women's world champion now holds this. That means you got to be as good as a former women's world champion to beat me for this. But just for her to just win it, 3-4 weeks, that just means the title don't mean shit. But have her win the women's rumble, move her to SmackDown, have her go for that women's title over there. That gives legitimacy to that one, because right now, I mean, Tiffany Stratton just won from Money in the Bank. We don't know where the hell they're really going to go with that. I mean, she's not really proven herself as championship material. I mean, she's good on the fucking mic for what that's fucking worth, and her in ring is good, but she hasn't really been tested yet. And I think Liv could be that person that goes to Mania with Tiffany if Tiffany keeps the belt that long, and really test Tiffany to see if she is ready for that role to be the next generation's main event as far as women's wrestling.
All right, what'd you think of the match, Edgar? We need to kind of pick up the pace here a little on this.
Yeah, I like the match.
I love the nut shot, by the way. The nut shot was amazing.
Yeah, the right person won. But I think they mentioned a couple times that Dom is a gold digger. So I think if anything, Liv Morgan, I see her having some issues with Dom down the line. Also, she's been having issues with Finn Balor. It's been looking more like the New Day's breaking up. So I think we'll probably see a whole lot of drama with Liv Morgan in the Judgment Day. And I think that'll kind of help her keep her relevant there a little bit. But no, the match was really good. They had me going for a second. I actually thought Liv was gonna win.
Me too. Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah, this was definitely the best match of the night for me.
Cool.
All right, what's next?
Up next, we had at the real actual best match of the night was Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. No, I'm totally kidding.
I'm taking your word for it.
No, it was a really weird match. Jey Uso got a surprise roll up on Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre had this thing won, but for some reason he didn't go for the pin. Jey Uso just got a roll up out of nowhere and just won the match. Surprisingly, it was really weird.
Yeah, it was surprising to me too, because I was expecting McIntyre to have like a really dominant streak going forward. So I agree. I think the quick roll up like that kind of shields the damage that McIntyre takes from this match. It's almost like losing by disqualification when you get something, sneaky like that happen. Not that it was sneaky on Jay's part, but I mean, a bang bang caught you sleeping kind of thing. But yeah, I was very surprised.
Do you think that Jey Uso might have gotten injured and they just decided, oh shit, take it home?
No, the reason I say that is if we go back a couple of weeks, there was a segment of Drew and Seth. It was a very, very tense segment. And if we remember correctly, they did a second segment where Drew was actually making a beeline for Seth and it got cut up, with some backstage foolery. What if they revisit that, have them to kind of form a union? Then Seth will be turning heel. I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point he is. And at some point, they bring in Kevin and have a new 3-man group with there, being the basically the bloodline hunters. I mean, you got Cody, who was helping the bloodline after destroying the bloodline. You got Drew going after the Usos and Sammy, and you got Seth going after Punk, who helped at Survivor Series, helped the bloodline. Just saying that there's some good mid-card opportunities there for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot Kevin Owens was involved in the opening match. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that was Jey Uso got the win over Drew McIntyre. I think
the biggest news that came out of that match was Travis Scott smoking weed on the way to the fucking ring.
It was Sage.
Yeah. It was Sage
we're-
smelling marijuana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In California too.
I mean, it was legal. It was legal. I'm pretty sure you can smoke weed vapes indoors there now. So I don't think you broke any laws. It's just it was crazy to see.
No, yeah, I've been to a Travis Scott concert, and it was inside of an arena filled with marijuana smoke. So it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing.
I believe it. But what about that hardcore title that he had? That thing looked fucking.
It was pretty cool.
Nice
It,
little
it,
gift.
it makes me want to go get a WWE title just to fuck it up. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
All right. So what's next?
All right, money bags.
Cha-ching.
Do you guys want to talk about Nikki Bella? He was there.
He was there.
Not really.
Yeah.
So
Look.
was Macaulay Culkin. So was a
Look,
lot
to
of
me,
people.
what and this is not the editorial show. We'll talk about this more on the next show, but
Mhm.
it's not a flex to show your own wrestlers in the crowd. Like,
Or in the sky.
LA Knight's here in the crowd. Yeah. Motherfucker, he's on Raw. He didn't have any choice. Like, it's not like wrestler. They're wrestlers in the crowd. They're like, they're here live. No fucking shit.
Actually, LA Knight's on SmackDown. He's going for Shinsuke's U.S. title Friday night.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
They're still.
But still, just their current talent just being flexed on the fucking floor seats or even in the fucking skybox. That was just for y'all to waste fucking time at this point. But I love the one thing I did love from that is fucking New Day just sitting there all fucking pissy and shit. Like, I gotta fucking be here to get paid this week, and then everybody just fucking making fun of them with it. I loved it. I loved that part. Everything else was just like, oh, there's so and so, there's X-Pac, and they're not going to talk about X-Pac. They're going to go to the other side, and they go, oh, then there's X-Pac again. What the fuck? Damn. Anyway,
Yeah.
what's next? No.
Let's talk about you guys want to talk about Hulk Hogan? He was in the arena.
Boo.
This is the actual audio from the LA Center.
Wow.
Damn. Yeah, that was brutal, man. I was like, holy shit. He
And
was out
I'm
there
like,
to promote his beer.
I'm like, they had to know what was going to happen. Yet they still signed a multi-year sponsorship deal with the motherfucker's beer. Like, how well is that going to work out when half the people that know Hulk Hogan hate Hulk Hogan? Like, it's...
I want to say they did it. They had to know that they were going to get a bad crowd reaction, but because this is on Netflix, which is fucking worldwide, they were like, we got to promote the shit out of this. Got to take advantage now, pal.
Yeah,
I don't see no other reason to do that.
He's
Hogan should have 2 minutes into that shit just flipped the fucking script and went straight fucking Hollywood on all them motherfuckers. I would have actually enjoyed it at that point. But the fact he still forced his way through his brother promo, it was just like, oh, this is sad to fucking see.
Would have made you buy his beer if he went heel.
I mean, I wouldn't drink it. I'd probably buy it for homeless people.
Okay.
Look, if he had a special NWO edition, then yeah, maybe I'd probably keep a can in the office. But
what about Michael Cole's iconic line? If it wasn't for Hogan, we wouldn't be here. He said that.
Moving on.
Moving on to the main event. The most anticipated match of the night. I was really waiting for this one. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. And we saw a little tease there by Seth Rollins perhaps turning heel, but CM Punk got the victory. Go to sleep, Seth Rollins. 1-0 Punk. Thoughts on the match, y'all?
It's not the outcome I foresaw. I foresaw like a double count out or a double disqualification or something to where the referee lost control and they just kept fucking fighting to where they had like a big pull apart or something. As far as the story that they're going to be telling, I think it was the right call to have Punk go over. The main event of the Netflix era might as well have the one that you know is going to be the babyface in the story moving forward to go over. And it really kind of you saw the seeds get planted there at the end of just, Seth couldn't get the fucking job done. Now what the fuck he's going to have to do to try to get rid of this cancer that he's hated for so long. The story is going to be fucking fantastic. That's why I continue to say that it's going to be Seth and Punk at Mania for the world title. It's just how we're going to get there. I see Seth kind of rehashing the Messiah gimmick a little bit and how he turned into that, where instead of trying to bastardize the worker, so to speak, he's going to do it to the crowd, to where he's going to make them turn on him. Like, I spoke nothing but truth to you, and you still chose this cancer over me. Well, if that's the case, I don't need you. I don't need none of y'all. I'll do this myself. And we're going to see a very dark, demented Seth Rollins moving forward over the next few weeks. And I've always said Seth has always been a better heel than a babyface. Not that the laughing Joker dancing, getting into his wife's wardrobe heel, but like authority heel, like post Shield heel. Like, I love that heel Seth Rollins, and I think he's going to pull that out and then some. But my one issue with the match is it's the same issue I have with guys on the indies. What's the point of having a finish if it doesn't finish the fucking match? Why the fuck do you got to pull it out 3-4 fucking times before it actually fucking works? And I get, personal shit like that because I did it with Billy Sharp in our last match where we hit each other's finishes. But the thing is, when I did it, when I hit his finish on him, we got to a point to where I couldn't pin him. But when he hit my finish on me, that was the end of the match. You only saw one finish each. You don't need to spam a GTS 4 or 5 times. You don't need to spam the fucking curve stomp 4 or 5 times. Otherwise, it loses the majesty of a finish. Ask Cody Rhodes at his fucking Crossroads. At this point, the pedigree is more of a fucking transitional. I mean, let's be real. Since he's brought the curve stomp back, he hasn't won any fucking match with a pedigree in fucking years. And same with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has popped out the pedigree a time or two, and he doesn't fucking finish the match. Of course, you can't hit one Crossroads and finish the match either, so irrelevant. Yeah, that's my only problem was the from the match itself was just I saw too many GTSs, I saw too many curve stomps. I like the thing where Seth went for a GTS. I think he should have just hit the one and been done with it, not go back to the fucking well. Same thing for Punk attempting, and he attempted a curve stomp. I give him an A for effort, a C for execution because he was like that fucking far from fucking actually hitting the fucking back of the head. But the actual finish of the match where he hit the GTS, got on his knees, and fucking Seth fell back on him again for another GTS. I love that. I thought that was brilliant. But the other 3 GTSs in the match that Punk did were not needed.
I loved it when John Moxley did it too.
Oh, the curve stomp on Seth? Loved it.
No, the Edgar put up a real showing the two that thing where he hits the GTS and then Seth went to the ropes and then fell on Punk's shoulders.
Oh, no shit.
That exact sequence happened when he faced Moxley in AEW.
Edgar, did you put that on Insta?
On my story, yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting. Punk, he kind of does that a lot, doesn't he? With like old matches.
callbacks to his previous matches, possibly. I've never actually seen that. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I didn't see this Moxley match, so that's why I didn't really.
I
Gotcha.
didn't either, but I saw that reel and I was like, interesting. Now I did see the match, but I don't remember too much about it.
Yeah, I think the one they did with Seth last night made it look a little more meaningful rather than just happenstance with Moxley's. At least that's my opinion. What I just saw. But yeah, I think you're right, man. One, I think the story's going to tell itself over the next few weeks of Seth turning heel and possibly joining McIntyre and fucking Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe.
I feel that could be a good main event for Elimination Chamber. Would be those 6 guys going into it, or the WWE title, perhaps. Then them have pull a fucking Edge or some shit and have fucking Seth beat the fuck out of a Kofi Kingston or something to take the spot of another participant and win the world title that way. Who knows? They're rehashing old stories.
Yeah. What'd you think of it, Edgar?
I loved it, dude. I feel like I don't really get to see Punk wrestle a whole lot.
Yeah.
So it's a fun time for me every time we get to, and I liked Seth Rollins arguing with the ref, telling the ref, hey, stop counting, let us go, let us fight, and all that. Yeah, I hope we see a heel Seth Rollins. That'll make this a lot more interesting down the line, I think.
I hope they run this back for Saturday night's main event. We got one of those coming up the week before Royal Rumble, so that'd be a great match to see on there.
All right, guys, so it's getting late. Raven, you want to do the pleasantries real quick?
I guess. Hakutua. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget this coming up Monday night. We have HSP with Dark Cordz, Raven Grimes. Hopefully, the sickness is gone and we are no longer down with it, where we will be discussing more than likely the AEW. So look forward to that. We have Talking Shit now on Sundays between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern. Look for that on the YouTube. And of course, every Tuesday night without fail, except for holidays, you have your boys, Dark Cordz, Draven Grimes, and Edgar from Snug, bringing you the best wrestling news of the week in wrestling. Speaking of Edgar, promote y'all shit.
Check me out, y'all. Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. Snug Wrestling. I'm gonna be going live tomorrow with Steve Bennett from the Sportscasters podcast, and we're gonna be going over WrestleMania 3, talk about Hogan a little bit. So that should be a fun time. And yeah, Snug Wrestling, y'all check it out. Good stuff, fun stuff.
Yep. All right, let's get his numbers up. Let's get him up to the Heel Shit podcast numbers. Want to see him grow. Want to see him expand. I want to see him succeed. So let's that. Don't forget all the socials. Heel Shit Podcast. Email heelshitpodcast@gmail.com for all your questions, inquiries, comments, blah blah blah. Don't forget about the membership. I know we've shown it a couple times. $4.99 a month will get you access to discounted merchandise, exclusive videos that are not on the actual YouTube themselves, and a couple more perks we got coming up in the coming weeks. And oh yeah, the merch.
The merch
Is fucking delayed tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But as always, on the Streamlabs merch site, we have Forbidden Kingdom. We have
I'm sorry, I flicked over to the 4 Live cam. I forgot you weren't here to see it, so I didn't.
I'm watching the live stream and I still can see it. Anyway, we have all the merch over there at the Streamlabs site. And again, for the members only, we got it over at the Teespring site for the members only. So yeah, go hit that up. We got new Forbidden Kingdom merchandise coming in the coming weeks. We just released over on the Teespring for the members only a brand new exclusive Heel Shit Podcast shirt. Definitely hitting all that shit up. It's going to be fucking fantastic. And please, for the love of everything that is unholy, take us home.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for Draven Grimes and Snug Wrestling Podcast. I'm Dark Cordz. This has been Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Bad guys do heel shit. Peace.